people gathering at the Emirates, singing songs and celebrating. And the celebrating has continued throughout the week, and it will continue on Sunday, because Sunday, of course, is Coronation Day. Skipper Martin Odegaard lifting the Premier League trophy. He said many times and a long, long time ago. And now that picture in his mind will become a reality. And of course, then after Sunday, there will be the build-up to the Champions League final in Budapest, because they have never won the Champions League. If they can do it, then that parade next Sunday, when hundreds of thousands of people will line the streets, will be even more special. If you go back, this is not an overnight success. This is a story that's 8 years in the making since the Kroenke takeover. His first full season, Arsenal finished 8th. His second full season, they finished 5th, significantly behind Tottenham Hotspur. That's because very, very early in his tenure, Rob, he changed his role. The club changed his role from head coach to manager. It was a significant move, because he then became part of the leadership group with all of that in mind. And with the stability that Arsenal have had since Mikel Arteta has been there.
Absolutely. I think the best thing that Arsenal did is stick with Mikel Arteta. The stability to stick with him, to keep with the potential, and also that Mikel Arteta also proved, because every year they consistently got better. They've recruited very well, but also because he's a highly intelligent guy who can contribute to Arsenal Football Club. They've seen the potential, he's delivered, and now they're champions.
Arsenal's preparations for the biggest game of the season received a huge emotional boost as club legends Thierry Henry and Dennis Bergkamp were spotted directing parts of training ahead of the UEFA Champions League final clash against Paris Saint-Germain. The atmosphere around Arsenal's training ground was electric as the two iconic Invincibles reunited with the squad during a special session before the final in Budapest. Players looked fully focused, while Henry and Bergkamp offered tactical advice, encouragement, and winning mentality to Mikel Arteta's side ahead of the biggest European night in the club's modern history. The return of former Arsenal heroes immediately lifted spirits around the camp, with many supporters online calling it the perfect motivation before the showdown with PSG. Henry, Arsenal's all-time top scorer, was seen speaking closely with the attacking players, while Bergkamp spent time working with the midfielders and younger stars during the intense session. There was even more good news for Arsenal fans, as both Jurrien Timber and Mikel Merino made major steps forward in their recoveries ahead of the final. Merino returned to full group training after recovering from injury and looked sharp during the session alongside the rest of the squad. Merino's return could not have come at a better time for Arteta, especially with the Spanish midfielder bringing composure, experience, and physicality to Arsenal's midfield. Teammates reportedly welcomed him back warmly during training as Arsenal continue preparations after securing the Premier League title earlier this week. Meanwhile, Timber is still racing against time to prove his fitness for the final against PSG. The Dutch defender has returned to grass training and continues rehabilitation work after a difficult injury spell. The presence of Henry and Bergkamp around the squad has already sparked huge excitement among supporters, with many believing Arsenal are channeling the spirit of the legendary Invincibles era before facing PSG. The two icons know exactly what it means to carry Arsenal's hopes on the European stage, and their appearance at training could provide the psychological edge Arteta's side needs. Several Arsenal players were also reportedly inspired by the intensity and passion shown by Henry and Bergkamp during training, with younger members of the squad eager to learn from two of the greatest players in the club's history. Fans gathering outside the training ground cheered loudly as the legends arrived, creating an emotional atmosphere that perfectly captured the magnitude of the occasion ahead of the Champions League final. With stars returning, confidence growing, and club legends back involved around the team, Arsenal fans are beginning to believe this could finally be the year the club lifts the Champions League trophy for the very first time.